I've got enough time to write tickets. You'll be a nice girl.
Oh, that's right.
It's funny, they say that, but they're actually telling people on the 16th, go around that, do not take them there, go around it.
So you have to go.
And that's fine with me. That's exactly what I was saying. You got to bring, don't mark it.
What?
That's easy.
I see that.
We brought over 5 weeks on.
He's saying.
Okay, it's not showing up here. Okay, have you got audio and everything? All right.
Good afternoon. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell. We were having a few technical difficulties, but we'll get kicked off with everybody today. We've got a new person. I think this is your first meeting with us. Would you like to tell us well, I know your role. If you'd like to introduce yourself and tell us your role and everything.
Yes, sir. I'm Eric Wilson. I'm the new North Region engineer. I replace Curtis Dixon. He retired. So hope I can help all I can.
We appreciate it. Good to have you with us. We'll get started. The meeting we called to order. First line of business is approve the minutes from the June 5th, 2025 MPO policy board meeting. Motion and second, any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Item 2 carries. Item number 3, open public comment period for the FY 2026 final unified planning work program, the UPWP.
So moved. Is this allowed for open public comment? Is that what that is to be said?
Yes.
I've got a couple questions about this because I just briefly looked at it. How was this advertised that we had this event happening?
I'm sorry.
How was it advertised? So the public would know.
We send the meeting notice out 10 days before the meeting is advertised on the Facebook page, it's advertised on the city's calendar, and then they take it up on the Facebook page.
So if anybody didn't know what an MPO meeting was about, they would probably have no desire whatsoever.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's advertised according to what,
But MPO doesn't mean anything to the majority of the public.
it stands for Metropolitan Planning Organization, and that is on the agenda.
Right, but I guess my concern is we have a planning commission, and I'm going to a bunch of those meetings. It sounds like the majority of what is actually being done in the city, outside of rubber stamping approvals over there, which we'll do later on next week. This is the audience where we actually have an opportunity to input for the future of the city.
Not at every meeting, no, this is just a public comment period for this particular work project.
Okay, and this work project is a yearly review for the entire city.
It's not a city, it's a planning organization.
Planning organization.
This doesn't have anything to do with planning commission for the city.
No, I understand that.
This is a public comment period for the Unified Planning Work Program, which is the path that's laid out for us to do our work for the next fiscal year. Basically, it's our budget for the next fiscal year.
Okay, are there measures of effectiveness or livability standards in that document?
Yes.
Okay. Because I haven't seen that.
Do we need to come?
Resolution 25.
Do we have a motion to close the public comment period?
So moved.
We have a second.
Second.
All in favor? So the comment period is closed. Item number 4, adopt resolution 2528, approving the FY 2026 final unified planning work program.
This is the work program for the next fiscal year. There's been a lot of changes to the document over the draft and the final. Federal regulations have been changed, basically dealing with climate change and greenhouse gases. Then was updated in the draft plan, and they're updated in this plan. The money amounts are correct. I've got with each membership, and they've agreed to their match for next fiscal year. So the money amounts are right in the document.
Okay, heard Dwayne's explanation. Do we have a motion to approve resolution 2528?
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? That resolution carries. Item number 5, adopt resolution 2529 to amend the current transportation improvement program to add the following project, and this is a state project resurfacing on State Road 67 from State Road 24 to State Road 20.
Yes, as explained, this is a state project with the state paying the required match on this project. Should be scheduled for FY 26. Y'all have any more updates, y'all back to this point.
This is just part of our research program for this next fiscal year.
So,
Second.
Motion to second, any discussion? All in favor of adopting this resolution? Any opposed? Resolution 2529 carries. Moving on, item 6, adopt resolution 2530 to amend the current transportation improvement program to add the following project. This is also a state project, resurfacing on State Road 67 from Indian Hill Road to State Road 3. Same explanation as.
Make a motion.
Motion second, any discussion? All in favor of approving this resolution? Any opposed? Resolution 2530 carries. Okay, resolution 2536, to amend the current transportation improvement program to add the following project, and this is a state project.
Yeah, you're on 31.
Get that order. Resurfacing on State Road 30, State Road 3, US 31 from the south end of W.J. Hudson Bridge to Thomas Hammond Road at a total cost of $2,296,657.
Yeah, this one actually had a project description change yesterday. It's still the same project, but they updated the description change. Yesterday, the local planning agency at AlDOT contacted me and said, go ahead and change this description. It's still the same project. It's still the same money amounts in it. So I went ahead and changed that project where it would reflect like it is in CPMS with the state. So that project should begin in FY 26 also.
So how are they going to, I guess I envision this going from the north side of the bridge to Carpenter Technology, is that right?
Yeah, it goes always Thomas Hammond, yes.
Yeah. So you're gonna get 2 feet?
That's probably not the project. Sometimes we'll, where we can, there's gonna, I think there's gonna be some areas on that project that's just physically not able
Okay.
to include that. But we included it in the description because we are doing it in some areas.
All right, do we have a motion to adopt resolution 2531?
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion and second, any discussion? All in favor of approving this resolution? Any opposed? 2531 is approved. Next item, adopt resolution 2532 to amend the current transportation improvement program to increase funding on the following projects, and this is the MPO county project. Replace the roadway culvert with bridge culvert and approaches on West Morgan Road over Baker Street.
Yes, this project is an MPO project. Estimated cost actually went up on the construction phase of this project. MPO is responsible for 80%, and the Morgan County is responsible for 20%. That project has bid, and talking to the county engineer earlier today, it did come in a little less than what this estimate is. So once that goes through the system and AlDOT, we may come back and decrease the amount on that at a future meeting. Make a motion.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? All in favor of approving this resolution? Any opposed? 2532 is adopted. Next item, adopt resolution 2533 to amend the current transportation improvement program to increase funding on the following project, which is roadway lighting rehabilitation on US 31 from Market Street to 0.5 miles north of Riverwalk Marina, which is a carbon reduction.
Yes, this is Decatur's lighting project. It has overrun just a little bit, $55,000. The MPO is picking up 80% of that overrun, the city pays 20%. I have been told that the carbon reduction funding may be ending soon. It may be rescinded. The next project we actually have on the agenda is a project, using the rest of our carbon reduction funding money for FY 26, where we can kind of get that money used before they rescind it from, federal side. So hopefully they won't rescind it before we get that project started, but, it came down the pipe that we probably needed to try to get this money spent, and luckily Hartsville had a project ready to go that, we could spend that money. I think the balance next year is about $272,000 in that fund. We'll probably spend majority of it. We'll probably, if they do rescind it, we'll lose about $40,000, which is not bad. So, but hopefully it won't be rescinded and we'll have money for the project maybe in 27. So we don't know yet.
So.
So moved.
Second. Motion second. Any discussion? All in favor of adopting this resolution? Any opposed? So 2533 carries. As Dwayne mentioned, this is 2534 to amend the tip to add the following projects: signal upgrades at the following intersections of Hartsville. I'm not gonna read all those, y'all can see what they are. This would be added in FY 2026. Any more discussion on that, or we good on what?
Yeah, and this, like I said, this money was for 26 and it is carbon reduction funded with the city of Hartsville paying the match. Make a motion.
Motion and second. Second. All right, any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? 2534 carries. Item number 11, adopt resolution 2535 to amend the current TIP program to increase preliminary engineering funding on the following project: intersection improvements, including turn lanes and traffic signal at State Road 36 and Idaho County Road.
Yeah, this is another MPO project that, actually the P is almost complete, completed on this project. I got a call or email from the front office that said the project was running over and we needed to increase the, preliminary engineering amount by $50,000. That brings the total project to $201,500 with the MPO paying $161,200 and the city of Hartsville paying $40,300 for preliminary engineering. Make a motion.
All right, have a motion and a second. Second. Have a motion and a second, any discussion? All in favor of approving this resolution? Any opposed? Resolution carries. Under new business, we have one more that was added after you all received the packet. This is resolution 2536, intersection improvements, turning lanes and traffic signals, State Road 36 and Landale County Road. This is an increase in right of way.
Yeah, this is another MPO project. It actually came in, after I asked the chairman to add it, to the agenda. It has went up $21,400, bringing a total of $271,400 with the MPO paying $217,120 and the city of Hartsville paying $54,280.
You've heard Dwayne's, description. We have a motion. Second. Motion and second, any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Resolution carries. All right, let's see, now we'll have updates from Allies.
All right, starting with our projects under construction, our I-65 bridge maintenance project. Contractor continues to work on doing cap repairs underneath the bridge and replacing their knee pads. All the painting and work that we do on the top side of the bridge is essentially complete under the restriping of the structure once we shift traffic back to its normal position. Anticipated we hope to finish this project this fall. I-65 resurfacing, this was two projects that was combined into one proposal. And so the first project is from south of Lakon up to just south of Thompson Road. That project has been resurfaced. There's a section south of the Lakon interchange that will require some more open grade friction cores that will be done probably next year. And then they should start on the phase two part of the
overall project discussion. Just south of 36, up to the river. It's unlikely we'll finish that this fall since the work is done at night. So you can see that project continuing through the next construction season. I-65 sign replacement project from Coleman County line to the Tennessee state line. They're anticipating to start this project maybe in the next few weeks. So the contractor really primarily be working with shoulder closures, so they wouldn't affect the traffic too much at all. That project, ITS project on I-65 from Crossville to north of Athens. Contractor's been running conduit for the fiber installments and pouring foundations for structures to be placed. We have some, poles for the structures that should be coming in later in the fall. We should have some lane closures, mostly at night. One of those that we need to be done during the daytime. Decatur Causeway lighting was mentioned earlier. I believe most of the light fixture replacement has been completed. I think they had a few pole foundations that they found they had some issues with that they needed to address. They anticipate to finish that project later this fall. Decatur has a project on 6th Avenue to do access management and sidewalk improvements. My understanding that project should get underway next month. We have some resurfacing in the area, resurfacing State Route 67 on the belt line from US 31 over to State Route 24. All the main line paving has been completed. I think the contractor continues to do some of the side road ties, and we'll have our final striping to do once that's all. Resurfacing on State Route 20 in Orange County from Hillsborough to the Ward County line. Hopefully should start that project in the coming weeks. We also have a project to resurface State Route 24 from the Orange County line to the belt line, and that project should be in the next few weeks also. City of Trinity has a A-trip project that was bid, and my understanding is intersection improvements there, State Route 24 and Greenway Drive. They're in the procurement phase for the signal equipment that needs to be installed, and some contractors should be started later this year. Projects in the design phase. We continue to work on our bridge replacement on US 31 over Norfolk Southern out by our district office. We had to make some modifications to our design to accommodate some requirements from CSX regarding vertical clearance. So we're modifying that design. Once we complete that, we'll restart the right-of-way acquisition process. We anticipate that project probably maybe fiscal year 27 at this point. Bridge replacements on I-65, just north of the Lakeham interchange. They're over Flint Creek and the CSX Railroad there. We're in conversations with CSX about their requirements they want for their horizontal clearance underneath the bridge for future track requirements. Once we get that completed, we'll pick that design up, and that project likely will be fiscal year 27. We added a new project recently to do some deck rehab on I-65. There's two bridges just south of Thompson Road included in the project, and then the two overpass bridges at State Route 67 in Crossville. We'll be doing some hydroblasting of the deck surface to remove upper couple of inches of concrete and replace that with new concrete. We just began the design process for that, and that project might be in late fiscal year 26 or early 27. Projects under design in the MPO, Hartsville's Long Bridge Road and US 31 intersection. It was just let, and the pre-con, I believe, was held, and I think they should begin that project in the next couple of months. County project to replace the culvert on West Morgan Road, it was bid in July and projected to start sometime in the fall, possibly. The project there on State Route 36 at Lando Cane Road, plans are approximately 85% complete. Right-of-way acquisition should be getting underway maybe in the next month or so. There's probably about 10 tracks on that project, so that'll take us some time to go through that process. So we'll have utility work after that, so that the construction phase will be paced by completing right-of-way acquisition and utility relocation.
No, we don't have to do any graves.
That's right.
It's located next to the cemetery.
Yeah, Church Street reconstruction from US 31 to Somerville Road, City of Decatur, that project design is approximately 50% complete and is projected to be sometime next fiscal year. Two projects in the community. Decatur has a project on State Route 67 and Upper River Road to improve the intersection and signalize it. Right of way has been purchased, so the structure has been removed. I believe they're doing some geotechnical evaluation of the new roadway that was underneath the buildings there. And that project's scheduled for early fiscal year 2026. Hartsel has a project on US 31 Sparkman Street to improve that intersection. That design is approximately 90% complete and is projected to be before the county. And that's all I have, unless there's something that I missed.
Going back to the, was it item 6, is that Indian Hills resurfacing on 6731? Is that gonna be the open course?
I don't know that we've made that decision yet on that. We are looking at modifying the striping on the roadway to add a safe, what we use a safety improvement to the roadway. We're going to shift the lanes out just a little bit, possibly narrow the outside lane by a foot and create a buffer in the center between the two inside lanes that will have scoring on both sides to give an audible and physical response to a driver if they're leaving the roadway and drifting across.
The open course is shown to be very effective.
It has in areas where we see wet weather problems. It has to meet a certain threshold. I can't quote that number percentage wise, but we have to meet a certain threshold just because it's a very expensive product and the lifespan of that product is not very
So that's
long.
saying we use it on Danville Road on the hill, and it's worked well. I guess you use it on Monsanto, is that right, and Governor's Drive?
We do, yes.
It's just, we've had some, as you know the types of wrecks we've had.
Yes. Well, I'm not sure that decision's been reached
Okay.
about adding that to it.
So do you get back with it?
I certainly will.
And I did want to take a chance to say publicly that I appreciate the job that Roy contributed there for Aldott as far as raising that bridge there over the road and getting the ramps built up for that and the guardrails and stuff. It's a lot smoother than it was before it started. And did a good job and they got it done pretty quick. So I appreciate that.
I just like to say the same thing, just thank you. I know you don't get that a whole lot, but you know, like you said, read off a whole list of projects that's here in Decatur, Morgan County, and of course Hartsville. You know, that we've seen times years ago that didn't happen. We've been always, you know, the last to get anything, but we appreciate, you know, y'all focusing on Morgan County and Decatur. And I know, like I said, the funding comes from our legislature. Of course, you know, we couldn't do it without them, and so we appreciate all y'all working together.
Ray, can we get that on record?
Yeah.
But we still would like more, and we still don't think we're getting our fair share. That'll never change.
Yeah, it is, you know, it is nice when you go out to other parts of the state and they talk bad about y'all. And I would tell them, we got good folks up here, we get along. I said, I get along with Mr. Cooper, I don't have no problem. You know, all you gotta do is talk about the mayor, he's fine. That's right. Anyway, I think Mike got a few things.
Yeah. Just got a few things, as you know, we're tasked with, for what we do as an all-road transportation plan. That's updated every 5 years. And part of that plan is the federal man law And the maps that we're passing out right now, in our planning area for this Decatur area, we have 230 traffic analysis zones, and then 230 zoning contained data in each one of them. The contained in each one of these zones are population, housing units, their occupied, and total employment, retail and non-retail employment, school enrollment, and dorm rooms. And we have updated that data for the new transportation plan. That data is based on 2020 census data. The base year for the model is 2020, and we project out to 2050 in the long-range plan. But the census data, the population and housing data comes from the census. And them numbers in that planning area are, in 230 zones, population is 95,118. That's according to the 2020 census. The housing is 41,023, again, 2020 census. And then we go into employment data. Well, the employment data, and when I first started doing this, we used to have 5 or 6 interns, and each one of the interns at one time, we'd take the phone book, get on the phone, and call people, hey, how many employees you got? Took a long time. Now we can go in and we can buy data. There's companies out there that sell it. We bought it by zip code, and it was addressed, and it told us the number of employees. It told us a lot of information really we didn't need. But the number of employees is what we need. We take that data, we use local databases from the chamber, from the state industrial board. We use a lot of data to cross-check out. It's about a 2-year process to do that. Lee Carey, which worked for me, did some of that data. Chris has done some of it, and I've checked some of it, and we're done with that data now. Total employment in that area is 52,631. But when we get that total employment data, we break that down. We break it down into retail and non-retail employment. And how we do that is we use the NAICS code that the census uses. And the code in that from 41 to 44 means that it's a retail business. So we break that down and say, okay, 41 through 44 is a retail business, and that retail employment, 52,631 is 6,877, with the rest of it being non-retail employment of 45,754. The school enrollment, and it includes Calhoun, is 19,184. That's 2020, and we just didn't come up with that number. We called, asked them how many students you had, and that's based on 2020, not 2025. Dorm rooms, we had none in 2020, but now we have dorm rooms that will go into the calculation for the update. So what we do with this data is we put all this data in, and it creates trip generation in each one of the zones. In order, it's like the attractions and production. Your home's gonna be a production. That's where you leave every morning. Where you're going to is gonna be an attraction. And there's rates in there to where we can get into it later on when we show y'all how the model works. To where if you stop, that's a non-home-based trip, but most of the time it's a work trip. So the business or the employer is going to be an attraction zone. So that data basically runs through the model, and there's curves and a lot of programming behind it, but it basically gives us traffic in 2020. We validate that model based upon the current traffic counts that was in 2020. According to the federal rules, we have to be within certain percentages of the actual counts that's on the roadway. Interstate, off the top of my head, is 7% or below. Last time we had it at 3% or below. Principal arterial, which is like 6th Avenue, Beltline, would bet be 10% or below, which we was well below that last week we did. We're going through this process now. but I just kind of wanted to show y'all that data to kind of see what the MPO area looks like, what the employment looks like, what the population looks like. We don't even use the population in models, we use the housing units, because that's where most of the trips are generated in the housing unit on that side. But the area has grown, since 2010. And, with growth comes more traffic, and I guess you can see, we have a lot of traffic, out on the roadway. But we're going through that process, so each MPO meeting, I'll probably come in with some more stuff on the plan. And I know some of it gets real technical, but we'll be presenting some of that in the future.
Maybe we can add, you know, midway the housing units. So I know between,
Yeah, and we will in the next plan, because the next plan, we have to use 2025 as a base year, and then we have to project that again. So we'll have to project from 2020 to 2025 to get the number of housing units. And that's where we go in and use building permits and stuff like that to get together that.
so that we've added 1,000, 1,500 houses in our MPO area.
And that'll be captured in the next one. Any growth. That's all I have.
That's everything they'd like to do. Anybody else?
Glad to be here.
Yep.
I always, wish we had more. We do have, I talked to Anderson Strong the other day. He's got 3 million teed up for the bridge study. We've got the other 1 million teed up in Montgomery. So, as soon as they do their part up there, the state's ready to do its part down here. So,
Good to hear about the state having their part teed up.
we are, we had a lot more than 1 million teed up a year ago, so.
Thank you.
Motion adjourned?
So.
All in favor? Nobody ever